shit. We made it. We did it, boys. It's here. If you had told me friggin' 2017 that there was another cut of this movie that was infinitely better, I would have told you were fucking crazy. But here we are, 2021, and we got a much better film that I have no idea why it wasn't put out in 2017. Like, I would love to be the fly on the wall in WB who is like, nah, let's bring Joss and make a different movie, make it funnier. Let's not make it this epic scale Lord of the Rings type movie. Let's make the shitstorm that fucking came out in 2017. Oh, God. I have a lot to say about this movie, and I have no idea how long this video is going to be. So it could be 10 minutes, it could be 20 minutes. Just bear with me. I have so much to say. So let's just get into this. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Let's just get this out of the way right now. This whole thing fucking slaps. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, kind of. Her theme gets really, really annoying. They play it like every time she walks in the room. She could just be like, "Hey Bruce," and it's like, "Ah," or whatever the fuck it is. Either way. Who else is good? Batman is much better. Much better. Ben looks like he wants to be there and is in shape. Superman. God, Superman. We'll get there. Even Barry is like much better. Like, they really butchered him in 2017. Here he's like funny. He's not like annoying, which is nice. What else is there? The color grading's way better. I don't mind the aspect ratio. I'll just say that now. I don't think it's a bad thing. If that's your biggest issue with this movie, like, whatever, I guess. The other thing I want to say is Zack Snyder really got fucking fucked, and I feel so bad for him, but I don't want to get into that tragedy. Just like, good for you, Zack, for always pushing it, persevering, and getting your shit made. Okay, so for starters, this is 4 hours. It is, but it doesn't feel like it. It's very tight, and I'm sure you could have made this a little shorter, but like, I'm not complaining. I think that this movie, I wouldn't even call it a movie. It feels like an art piece. It feels like a graphic novel-esque motion picture. I don't know. It's definitely like a graphic novel in spirit, and I think that really works. And I don't necessarily know if this is something you could have put in theaters at this runtime. So this is Zack Snyder at his best. It's got his visuals. It's got those fucking metaphors that I love. Alfred says something like, "If you can't bring down the charging bull, then don't wave the red cape at it." That's amazing. I think it's like so on the nose and so funny, but I love it. I think it's great. Alfred's got a lot going on in this movie. He's got a nice scene with Wonder Woman at some point. He's got a couple nice scenes with Bruce, and there's a scene with Bruce where he's about to leave for like the final battle, and Bruce says that he's operating only on faith. And I think that's the theme of this movie. Yes, this movie has themes, like all of Zack Snyder's other movies. Like Moby Dick, there's a theme for you, but that's not in this movie. That's BVS. I'll talk about that maybe another time. So I think that Aquaman is probably my favorite character in this movie. He's got like the funniest lines. He's um he's talking to Bruce at the beginning, and Bruce is like, worked in Gotham for 20 years, and he's like, Gotham, oh that shithole. God, I love this man. Um, and then he just gives Barry this finger point when Barry accidentally runs into him when they're trying to take down Superman. It's like when you're at the playground and then you fall over and a kid looks at you, and then you look at that kid like you're gonna beat him up for seeing that you fell. Also, for some reason, I really like this surfer bro attitude he's got. I liked it in the other version, and I knew it was a Snyder idea, but like, I just love it. It's great. It's probably like the best interpretation of Aquaman I've ever seen. I've never been a big fan of that character, and like, I guess this these Aquaman live action interpretation by Jason Momoa has made me a fan of Aquaman for whatever reason. Maybe it's because he's really funny. Okay, so now let's move on to Wonder Woman. Okay, for starters, they play her whatever, like her Amazon theme before like every before she does anything. It's literally like every time she walks in a room, they do it, and it's like really obnoxious. But like, fuck it, it's Snyder's vision. Let's do whatever the fuck we want. Let's go crazy. Um, Another thing that I really liked about her was she seemed a lot more comfortable being a leader in this version than she did in the other one for whatever reason. That opening is done much better, which is a fucking blessing. I hated that opening. Those terrorists who were like, back to the dark ages. Like, whatever the fuck. It still says it here, but like, I don't know. I liked it better. That scene has like more room to breathe in a way that makes it like tolerable. So, yeah, that's what I thought of Wonder Woman. Um, Batman is so fucking cool. There's one scene with Batman that I really love where they get into Steppenwolf's like dome area, and he crashes the plane, and he's about to get in the Batmobile, and all the parademons are coming, and he's like, they're here. And he shuts the lights off. He's got the new bat suit on with the goggles. Zack Snyder loves his fucking goggles. I've seen Watchmen. He loves his fucking goggles. And this movie is no exception to that. Okay, so I want to talk about Barry Allen a little bit now. I think he was very butchered in the 2017 version of this movie. And in this movie, he's like a completely different character. And the scene where they're like, I'm fluent in web design and stuff, and he says sign language. He says gorilla sign language. Fucking Gorilla Grodd. Yeah, but like, who knows when we're gonna see that fucking Flash movie? I don't know if that's ever gonna come out. But like, I don't really want to spoil this movie because it's too new. But there's one scene with Barry that's like mind blowing in the final battle, which is a completely different battle than the one we got. And I'm like wondering to myself, why? Why did you do this? When you had this perfectly good version here that would have blown minds back in 2017. Like, it blows my mind. Okay, and while we're still on Barry, this is one scene where they skip over the whole save one person thing. It's now different. Barry just knows to get them out of there. And he gets them to the stairs. And there's this really funny scene that plays out where Barry's like, move faster, as he's like zipping back and forth. And then he like, one guy looks out of breath. He zooms to him and he's like, you good? Like, it's, I don't know. It was really fun. Like, this movie was like fun in a way that wasn't beating you over the head with the fact that, hey, we're fun. And I really enjoyed that. All right, so now let's move on to Cyborg. Cyborg was basically completely stripped from the 2017 version. And this, Zack Snyder stated that he was the heart of this movie, and he really is. You get a whole 20-minute sequence or something of just his backstory. I think it's like an entire one of those 7 parts, including the epilogue. And at first I wasn't a big fan in the 2017 version because we rarely got anything. Like Ray Fisher was really robbed, man. Like Zack Snyder, Ray Fisher was really hard fucking done by in this movie, and like I don't even know what to say. All I'll say is like Ray Fisher did an amazing job, and I think that WB made a huge mistake in firing him from that Flash movie and removing his solo movie. All right, let's move on to Superman, because Superman is done so right here, and I was so wrong in my BVS video about how Zack Snyder might hate Superman, because in this movie I think he fucking loves Superman. There's a flight scene in this movie that rivals the first flight, which is a beautiful scene in Man of Steel. I think I said it in my Man of Steel video. Basically, the black suit, all of it, the score, the Superman score literally like blew my mind. It slaps so hard, man. Also, Zach, did you think I'd miss the friggin' Jesus metaphor where he's got his hands out in front of the sun? Like, I didn't fucking miss it, buddy. I fucking live for it now. I've binged all 3 of these movies. I fucking live for these Christ allegories of Superman. And I'll tell you what, this is the best one yet. The rebirth of Christ? Like, fuck, man. Fucking give it to me. Inject it into my veins. Okay, so I think that the post-credits scene with Lex and Deathstroke sets up a perfect Batman movie. Without getting into spoilers, it really sets up a really good fucking Ben Affleck directed Batman movie or mini series on HBO Max. Like, just give it to us. Make it an Elseworlds thing. Make it HBO Max originals and just put them on there. Just give it to us, man. Like, this is fucking cool. Like, I want more of this. And also, like, we got to see my buddy Lex, but like, he didn't do any of his weird noises that I love. Finally, before I go, I really just want a movie where they do Batman and Joker and they tell the story of how Robin died. He has a line where he says, "You can rip this card up and end the truce, and we can talk any way you like about why you set a boy wonder to do a man's job." That gave me chills. That gave me fucking chills, man. Like, I want to see that. I want that story. And also, like, he knows his name. And also Harley Quinn died. There's a lot to process in this scene. I've seen the movie like 1.5 times. I'll probably watch it again, maybe do an update video on this. But like, let me know what you thought of this movie. And yeah, it's great in my opinion. And I hope they give Zach a sequel. And before I go, since you guys all liked it last time, here's a bunch of clips of stuff that I liked.
Who's gonna give you a reach around?
Worked for 20 years in Gotham. Oh, that shithole.
You coming with us now? Because we're not all gonna fit in your car.
Do you really think that...
Oh, wow, they really just vanish. Huh? Oh, that's rude. I'm so sorry.
For good.
Clark,
That's what you can bring them.
you were sent here for a reason.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
And even if it takes you the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
They will stumble. They will fall.
You're gonna have to make a choice.
They will join you in the sun, Cal.
It's badass, Alfred.
Fly, son. It's time. I will fucking kill you.
I'll be the bigger man.